Yo, what's up? I'm back with another action figure review for another old Marvel figure. First thing to start, I've changed my name to Ice Coffee instead of CG Smooth because I found out there was other YouTubers with the name CG Smooth, so I just changed to Ice Coffee. So it's now Ice Coffee. So back to the figure. Well, today I'm reviewing a Marvel Gold Black Panther action figure. It's pretty old. It came out at the same time. I think this is the one. I think this one came out before the Luke Cage one that I showed you from the last time. And I bought this from the same buyer that I bought the Luke Cage figure from. Unfortunately, the Luke Cage had his cloth accessories. Like most of the Marvel Gold figures that they had, they all came with cloth accessories, most of them. Unfortunately, this one didn't have his cloth accessories, but he didn't have much though. He just had a cape. But for me, Black Panther always looked better without the cape, because with the cape, he kind of looks like a Batman knockoff. So I was cool with the whole cape thing. It's a little bit different than the Luke Cage one, like, because some of these figures, some of the old figures are more flexible than other Marvel figures. But with this figure, he's probably got the same articulations as Luke. He can, goes 360 with the arms. He's got the arms, he's got the legs. Only thing different between him and Luke, he looks a little bit more flexible, and you probably could put him on a horse and stuff. So only thing about this toy is, from a toy that's not 100% flexible, like, and it's got a posability. I never did understand why the ankles is like, it's got moving ankles. I don't know what you could do with these moving ankles though, but it's got moving ankles. But I think this one is from series 1 though. And I think the Luke Cage ended up being series 2. See, you got the bendable ankle joints. And the same thing is like, the same with Luke. He didn't have all his accessories, but I didn't care because I got this for a cheap price over at Macari's. But I'm very sure you could find this figure in Macari's or any place where anybody's like selling these figs. So, or you can get them in box, because the only thing it's gonna come with is the cape. And I think with this guy, I think this is one of his first figures, because he had 2 figures in the 90s. One was a Marvel Universe 12-inch, and he had this one. But I don't know which one came out first. I'm thinking the 12-inch one came out first, and I think that one had a cape too. But with this one, this is his first. I want to say this is 5 inches, 5-inch or 6-inch figure. But the crazy thing about it, he's got his build like how the comic book is supposed to be built. He's kind of lean though. He's not as ripped like how most figures would probably have him be. He fits his comic book. He fits mostly his comic book build though. He's just like Luke. Luke fits his comic book build too. But this is series 1 Marvel Gold figure. So with this series, it had Falcon into it. So I'm trying to get that Falcon as well though. But other than that, this is a pretty good figure though. One of the first Black Panther figure, because I don't really see much videos on this version of Black Panther. I always see like the early 2000s Marvel Legends one. I don't never see much of this one, but I don't really think he cost as much. I think the most he's probably cost is probably like $20. I think 20 maybe 30, since the movie became such a big hit. A really dope movie. It's really a dope movie. So I would assume since the movie has came out, I'm very sure he's probably rose up some prices by now. But I'm very sure he's not really cheap. And the thing about Marvel Gold figures is, it's not that many characters. It's just 2 series, and I don't think they're really hard to find. You know, I don't think it's hard to find them mint or in box. Now, I've never seen these things outside their box, so when I never seen them outside this box until I saw it on Macari's. But since it's clean, it's not, it doesn't have no scuff marks. It doesn't have not one scuff mark like the Luke Cage one with the back of his head all scarfed up. This is a pretty cool, neat figure. Like I said, for anybody that's looking for this figure, mint, box, or loose, I suggest you go. If you're a fan of Black Panther, or you just want to collect old Marvel figures, or you just want to, or like I said, if you just want to buy it for a kid, like these Marvel Gold figures, like I said, I think they were just collectors, made for like for the collectors and stuff. But I think as time changes, they're made for the kids though. This could be a good cheap Black Panther figure. I don't think it's cheap, but I think this is a pretty good Black Panther figure you want to give to your kids. If you can't get the other Black Panther figures, I'm very sure if you're looking for this one, this could be a good pick for them. It's not a bad figure. It's not a bad figure. And it's pretty neat to play with and mess around with, because you kind of wish you had this one. I kind of wish this really exists. And it kind of sucks that I did not know that this toy exists when I was a kid. Same for Luke Cage, because this is a dope figure and I probably would have played with this if I've ever seen this figure. But like I said, oh yeah, I forgot to say, his head articulate 360 as well. So, but it's kind of stiff around the joints. It's kind of stiff though, so it's not loosely bad or nothing, you know. This one's stiff, but this one's kind of loose, but not bad though. The joints is not bad though. Like I said, this is a good figure that you might want to give to kids, or just collect, or have them display next to your old school figures or your Black Panther figure collection. You know, I mean, this is for good. It's for good. It's good for a gift, and it's also good for any Black Panther fan, or just for any kid that just like action figures and Marvel characters. This is a pretty good figure to have though. But oh yeah, and it goes back and forth. Yeah, my bad. It goes back and forth. Yeah, this part is kind of stiff though. This is stiff, so it's kind of stiff. And yeah, some of these older 90s toys, they have this kind of leg spread and they move like this. Yeah, these figures do be easy to try to make them kick. So maybe this is what the ankle and the knee thing is good for. Probably kicking somebody's. Because when they have like I want to call it like the cowboy riding on a horse pose like this, when they legs are spread out like this, yeah, their legs are kind of tough to, but it ain't no thing to me, because the only thing he's going to be used for is display. But other than that, this is pretty good figure though. This is a pretty good figure to have, and I mean, you could probably do a lot of stuff with it. I don't expect you to do any displays or any, you know, any action. You probably just can make him do a few poses, you know, and all that type of stuff, and make a few kung fu poses. You know, he got a few poses that you could probably give him. You know, he got the old man shaking his fist pose, you know, like he gonna get his revenge at you pose. So, but like this, good figure. I give it, if you give me a 5 out of something, I give this figure around by like a 4 though. Because it's limited on articulations, because it is a 90s figure. But you know, with most of these Toy Biz figures, I want to say, which one this year this one came out. It doesn't show too clearly, but I think it doesn't show too clearly like it did the Luke Cage one. But I want to say probably like 97, just like the Luke Cage one though. It's got limited of articulations, because certain figures had limited of articulations and some don't. I never could understand the toy with these different superheroes. Like one superhero, he got crazy articulations and one guy doesn't. So I never could understand that, because I could never understand that with a lot of those figs. But hey, I think it was pretty. Like I said, like I said, these toys are pretty neat, pretty cool, and I would give this a 5. I'd give it a 5, but if you like the cloth cape that comes with this guy, just go. I mean, it's probably gonna be hard to find a cloth cape, but I just say just find, just use. I just say just find an old cape and just put it around him. But to me, it doesn't bother me none because he'll look like Batman, and I don't want my Black Panther looking like Batman, So, other than that, that's right about it. And I'll catch you again on another action figure run, another action figure review. Peace.